It's our first day of vacation, and we're headed to Prince Edward Island. We have no concrete plans, but then again, we never do. So come along with us and see how it goes. We're through one province into the second one, into New Brunswick, and about 40 minutes away from the Confederation Bridge. Heading across the Confederation Bridge for the first time in over a decade. Last time we went over this, we only had a neon and we couldn't even see over the Jersey barriers. It's nice to see the actual view of the water. The wind is quite bad though, so with the soft top it sounds like someone's dropping something on the top of the Jeep every now and then. This field made a great foreground for the bridge. We decided to check out Old Cemetery Road leading down to the water to see what views we could get from there. It turns out it was definitely worth the detour. With that out of the way, we are off to find our first hiking spot. The Island Nature Trust has a trail code of care that they ask all to follow. These are easy to follow rules to protect the ecosystems of the trail. The trails on the system are uniquely marked with leaves painted throughout. We just finished our first trail here in Prince Edward Island, and the mosquitoes almost carried us all away. I guess we are not out of the woods, pun intended, about having bug spray with us. Anyway, lesson learned, now we're off to the next trail. We decided to check out a few camping spots that we found on the iOverland app. This first site we saw may be great if we had a camper van, but for our tent setup it was not right for us. However, there were pieces of the wind turbines on display at this site, showing just how big these things are. The second site we checked out from the iOverland app was just on the other side of that peninsula. It looked like it would be great, but with the wind blowing here, it was not good for a tent setup. The area did have some nice scenery that we took a moment to enjoy. We wanted to check out this boardwalk trail, but we were worried about finding a site before sundown, so we continued on our way. We like the idea of staying at this iOverland site, but we're worried about the soft sand with the Jeep tires, so we passed on it. We didn't know it at the time, but in hindsight, we're glad that we passed on the first 3 sites, because this site beat all 3 together. We quickly set the tent up so we didn't miss a sunset that was starting behind us. We both agreed that you could not find a bad view from this site. With not one cloud in the sky, we had a clear view of the Milky Way. After seeing the faint glow in this photo, I adjusted my camera's exposure and was treated by seeing the Northern Lights for the first time. The next morning, I let Kirsty and the dog sleep in, and I got up to catch the sunrise. As with all of our adventures, coffee comes first. With our travel mugs filled, we were off to see what other trails were on the island. There are 3 trails at this site, totaling 11 kilometers. Each trail is marked with a distinct colored marker ribbon. Being a National Historic Site, there's lots of information posted along the trail.
Three Rivers. Bonjour et bienvenue à Roma à Trois-Rivières. This is the trading post of Monsieur Jean-Pierre Roma, who was a French entrepreneur and had heard that there was money to be made here in the lucrative cod fishing back in the 1700s. So Monsieur Roma made his plans and arrived here in 1732 with 3 boats. Brought 3 of his children with him, and fishermen and workers such as myself, and we started and carved out a trading post here at Trois-Rivières. The main reason for being here was the cod fishing. As much fish as could be caught and salted and dried and sent to the trading partners back in France and in the French West Indies was money in the bank for Mr. Roma. Unfortunately, there were many complications, many ups and downs, as you can imagine, starting a trading post or a settlement carved out of nothing but virgin Acadian forest here. And but we managed to survive for 13 years until a fateful day in 1745, when, after successfully defeating the mighty Louisbourg over in Cape Breton, or Ile Royale at that time, the British and New England soldiers sent a boat over here, and they landed. Monsieur Roma and the few that were at the point hid in the forest and watched as the soldiers came ashore, took all the livestock, took all the stores that they had, loaded it on the ship, and burnt the entire village. So today we have what we consider a living museum. In the summertime, when we have our guides, there's tours, there's activities of the time, so quill pen writing. We have toys of the 1700s that people can play with, try on costumes like myself here, and candle making, and we have gardens, we have our different paths to walk on. So yeah, we welcome anyone anytime in the summer from June till the end of September.
Found another dirt road, heading in to see if we can find another spot for overlanding tonight. Hopefully we'll be as lucky as we were last night with that beautiful sight. Well, we checked out all the overland spots that we were interested in, and none of them were really our cup of tea. So we took the easy way and went with a provincial campground. It's Sunday morning at Brudenell Provincial Campgrounds. We're packing up early. It's a nice site, but it definitely doesn't compare to what we had last night. So we're gonna hit the roads early and see what we can find out for adventures. We stopped for our morning pick-me-up at the Lucky Bean Cafe. I always find it interesting seeing old pieces of machinery marking former industrial sites. Despite the path continuing on the other side of this waterway, we decided we were going to turn around and not get wet today. This church wants to be a lighthouse when it grows up, I think. We're heading back home, heading towards New Brunswick, crossing the Confederation Bridge. To get on the bridge, to get to the island, it's free, but to get on the bridge, leaving the island, it costs $50.25 for the average vehicle. As we cross the Nova Scotian border, we already have thoughts of what our next adventure will be. After all, we still have over half our vacation left.